Hello, I'm Tim Blight. I'm a travel writer and I've been recently introduced to the world of startups through S4 Digital. Today we're in conversation with Anas Wahab, the Director of Innovation at S4 Digital, which is an amazing company based out of Portugal but with offices in the UK, Brazil, India and Pakistan. Anas is a leader and an entrepreneur, and it's great to have him here on the program. Anas, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, it's been a very long time. First of all, I'd like to begin by asking you about how you got into the world of, tech.
Technology?
So
I think, so I'll start from today. So today I'm, of course, as you mentioned, I look after the innovation function at S4 Digital. So it was a long journey. I'm 22 years down the road in my professional career. So I'm in the board of directors of several organizations based out of Canada, Portugal, and Pakistan. And most of those are technology companies, and in the advisory board of several technology companies as well. So I started off as a software developer. So mostly I was engaged in Java-based development. And in first decade of my career, it was all about, hands-on software development in Java, in .NET, and a number of other technologies that we know today. So, so that's how I started. And then, today it's more at the C-level, strategic level. I've been part of some large-scale organizations driving their digital transformation, and of course, software development becomes part of anything what I do. That's what I specialize in. So building and scaling software development centers and offshore software development centers for companies based out of Europe and US. So that has been my core strength so far. Yeah.
Wonderful. And I know that you're particularly interested in and involved in the production, promotion, development of low-code.
Yeah. So
what is low-code? For a layman like me, what is low-code?
Yeah. So low-code is actually something very interesting, and especially for organizations which are very large-scale, and they are always lagging behind on their transformation goals. And also for startups who actually have very strict or very tight milestones with respect to their investment plans, with respect to their journey of evolution. So I think this is something very exciting, and because I was a conventional software developer for a long time, and I've been managing teams with the conventional software development approaches. So when I came to know about low code, like everyone else who is into conventional code, I was a bit biased that, oh, come on. I mean, how can you do things by drag and drop? How can you automate the software development? This is just something, it's a story. It's a very good commercial story to have, a very good pitch to sell something. But when I got involved in this hands-on, because I do everything hands-on, even now, and sometimes it sounds very strange to be at the strategic level in a company, but still hands-on in software development. But this is what I love doing, and I still do it. So I got hands-on with low code, and I chose Mendex because it was, so choosing Mendex, it was a long journey. So I think it's not relevant here, but I ended up with Mendex, which is the leading low code platform in the world. And recently Gartner published a report as well, and they declared it as a leading low-code platform. I think once more, I don't remember how many times they have done it before. So this is something I really loved doing, and I was really surprised at how much automation you can bring into software development, and you can do things faster. So imagine a telco. So you see a lot of telecommunication packages around you all the time. Okay, so get this, get data free, get a bundle offer. There is night packages. There are a lot of things bundled with whatever you buy, even the fonts and all that. So they're always coming up with new promotions, new strategies to attract the customers, give them more value. And if the technology is lagging behind, they cannot launch it. So let's talk about a bank. So they want to come up with a new car loan plan with a car replacement policy after a year, maybe. So once they have decided that they want to do it, they cannot do it until the technology is there at their pace. And they are always waiting for technology to catch up and then launch those promotions, launch those products. And in the same way, we have issues with startups. They are always struggling with the minimum viable product that they need to develop. And then you're lagging behind just because of the technology. So I loved doing low code. It's a much faster way of doing software development. We will get into detail, how we do it. But in a nutshell, it's a way to develop software much, much faster than a conventional way. And that's something which can do a lot for startups. It can do a lot for the enterprise as well. Yeah.
And I was going to, actually, that was one of my questions I was going to ask is about startups. I mean, I believe that you're particularly passionate and interested in how low code can help startups.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what is it, or how, I guess, you touched on how the technology, I guess, catches up with where they're up to. Yeah. But what is it for startups that is particularly appealing with low code?
Yeah, so startups, there are many challenges. Let's say you come up with a business idea today and you want to launch it. So the first thing you will start to struggle with is, if you're from a tech background, you will know certain things, but you're not enough as a person to do everything. And then if you're not from a technology background, then you're even a step away from that decision to what to do. So even the basic things, you start to struggle a lot. For example, you want to develop that idea in form of a software, and then show it to investors, and you want to build a MVP, a minimum viable product, as we say. So the struggle will start from very basic things. For example, in the front end development, you will start to think that, okay, so there are many languages in the front end, Angular, React, so which one? And then there are many languages in the back end, so Java, .NET, Python, so which one? And then in the mobile app development, you have Flutter, you have React Native, you have Kotlin, you have Swift. So starting from the very basic things, and then the architectural decisions, microservices architecture, monolithic architecture. And if you're dealing with the IoT related thing or AI related thing, then okay, so what's the best approach to take it forward? What is the technology which is more native to IoT equipment, or maybe cloud native or not? So a lot of questions, and you will not know these things until you are deeper into the technology and the architecture and all that. So low code actually takes all of it away from you. You don't have to get into these discussions. You don't have to engage people from all of these technologies, and then at least one expert from each of these technologies, and then start building something. It gets very expensive, of course, and then it takes a lot of time on top of that. So with low code, so let me get a bit down to details on low code now, so to understand a bit. So let's say you want to build a sign up form. It's a very basic sign up form with the name and email address and phone number, and then you sign up to a service, right? So if you do it with the conventional code and you want to do it on the web and on the mobile app, so first you will need to get a front-end developer to build it in React or Angular, and then in the mobile app you will need one of those technologies, and then on the back end you need someone from Java or .NET, Python, and any other language, and then you need an architect. So you need a lot of people to actually make a sign-up form. And once they do everything, you will integrate all of that, and okay, you have a sign-up form now which works on web and the mobile app as well.
And it should be a fairly simple process. I mean,
Yeah,
the result of it is quite a simple
very
form.
simple sign-up form, but you need a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of time. But in low code, let's say you are using Mendex or any other popular tool. So but Mendex is, of course, the most comprehensive one. It's a general purpose software development kit that you can use to develop anything, virtually anything, including AI-based tools and IoT integrated tools. So you just drag and drop the fields. Okay, I want the first name and the last name and the email address, and the whatever you want to capture. So once you drag and drop, you tell the tool to generate, mobile app for you, and then you ask the tool to generate a web app for you, and it will create, the middle end. It will create the back end, the database as well.
It just does it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you're good to go, and you're done in a few hours.
And so definitely for a startup, I mean, that must be revolutionary. As someone who started a business myself, I know, I mean, engaging different parties in order to build an entire website is very time consuming, costly often. I mean, this is revolutionary, really.
Yeah. It is. And what conventional software developers think about it, okay, so you can build a sign-up form, so what? I mean, there are many more complicated things. So low code is not just drag and drop. It actually gives you the capability to write the conventional code within the application. So you can do all the complex stuff you want. So this is something that, so let's say 80% of the stuff you automated, you did it with drag and drop. And you don't need people and you don't need experts from all of those languages to do it. It will write the code behind it. So it will write the Java code, it will write the React code and the React Native code and build things for you. But the 20% of it where human intellect is required, that you will do yourself. Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. I mean, if you're a human being, that is very disrespectful to you to use human intellect in those things which can be automated. So just use your human intellect where it is actually required, and that's probably 20% or 10% or 30% of the project. It depends on the kind of project that you are building. So this is how you can achieve a lot as a startup entrepreneur. So let's say you have an investor meeting coming up, and you want to build a proof of concept that you can do much faster, and it will not just be throwaway code, it will be a real application. And then let's say you got the investment, and then you have committed milestones with your investors, and you want to show the product progress. You can do it much faster. So it actually makes your evolution much faster, and a lot of startups fail because they lose focus while building the product. It takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot more time than they initially targeted and projected and showed to their investors. So this can save time, money, and it can make you a success story.
And that's what we like to hear. You mentioned AI before, and I think machine learning, if I'm not mistaken. And you also mentioned how, like with low code, it's drag and drop, but then it actually writes the code in the background. Again, to a layman, like myself, it sounds almost like it's an element of artificial intelligence in there. What is the relationship between low code and artificial intelligence, and what potential is there for low code and artificial intelligence and machine learning?
So the relationship is actually from two angles. One is, of course, these tools are using AI to even the generative AI, which is, I think, out of the scope of this discussion, but it can generate code for you. It can do a lot of things using AI. But there is another perspective to it. So there are no other low-code tools available in the market other than Mendex, who can actually help you build AI-based apps and machine learning-based apps. Really? So let's say you want to build an app which identifies the objects. For example, you want to build an app where if you turn on the camera and show it whatever is in front of you, and it identifies the object. Okay, so this is a car, this is a cat, this is a pen, right? A cup. So if you want to build this app in the conventional way, in a machine learning way, you will need to install a TensorFlow or PyTorch or any AI-based tool, and then train your model, and then make an app out of it. And that's a fairly complicated process that only AI and machine learning guys can do. But in Mendex, you can do a number of AI and machine learning things being a citizen developer. And by citizen developer, I mean you're not a expert conventional software developer. Sure. You just learned Mendex, and you know the tool, you know how to use it. So if you want to build such an app which identifies objects, it will take you a few hours, not even a day. Okay. So it's a very quick approach to build and bring AI into your applications. So they have predictive models already inbuilt. So let's say you have a lot of data and you want to predict the sales for next 6 months. Okay. So based on the existing data, it can do predictions. And it can take into account other factors, for example, seasonality, weather, all of the patterns that exist in the past. It can use those and predict things for you. And you don't have to be an AI and machine learning expert to do it. I mean, you can do it by learning Mendex, which is fairly quick. So let me share a story that how we are converting people into Mendex. So there are not a lot of people right now in the world who are into low code. It is rapidly growing really fast, but as of now. So you cannot just recruit people immediately, but the beauty of it is you can get people transformed into low code very quickly. So let's say
quick to learn as well.
Yeah, very easy to learn. So let's say you have a month and you want to build a team. So typically a recruitment cycle takes more than a month, because you select someone and then you send the offer, and then they typically have 1 month of notice period. So it takes a lot of time. So let's say you have a conventional developer and with just maybe 1 year of experience, and maybe even fresh, and maybe with 5 years of experience. So you can turn those people into Mendex developers fairly quickly. And we did it in 2 weeks boot camps. We were organizing a number of boot camps, targeting different audience, for example, fresh graduates, some mid-level experts, and then advanced level.
And you had them converted into Mendex programmers within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And they were up and running, and they actually became part of a real life project, and that project is live at the moment. Wow. So this is how we can quickly shift people to it, and then take the results that we want.
There is the proof, really. Yeah. I mean, another topic which gets a lot of attention nowadays is IoT, or the Internet of Things.
Yeah.
What does low code mean for IoT?
Yeah. So Internet of Things is simply interacting with devices and gadgets in very layman term. So it's nothing new. We have been doing it for a long time in the industry everywhere. But with IoT, this terminology came up when all of the equipment that we typically use, like the TV, like the air conditioner, all of these gadgets started to become smart. And you can interact with those devices through internet, through apps. So this term became very, it became a standard, and then and there are standards within IoT that you can adopt and build your applications, so you comply with all the devices and vice versa. So that's what IoT is, and with low code like Mendex, with such a state-of-the-art low code tool, you can interact with the devices as well. So you can build apps that connect with your air conditioner, maybe maybe a smart water meter, maybe a liquid level monitor within your maybe water tank, or maybe the fuel tank, right? So there are many things that you can do. You can integrate with GPS trackers. So with a low-code tool like Mendex, you can do a lot of IoT stuff as well. So it doesn't restrict you to a certain kind of applications or just the business applications. You can build pretty much everything within the Mendex platform. Yeah.
That's so interesting, and I mean, to hear about all the different applications that exist in our everyday lives as well.
Yeah.
Finally, bringing it back, I guess, a bit to what you're doing at the moment with S4 Digital. S4 Digital has been in the news a lot recently about acquisitions that it has made. Could you tell me a bit about that, please?
Yeah. So as acquisitions, we did some strategic moves here. S4 Digital is a global company, and we are expanding in a number of countries. So one of those things we wanted to do was to recruit people much faster. And there was a company in Pakistan operating in Karachi with like 30 plus recruiters specialized in recruiting software developers and technology people, and interestingly, they were all women. I mean, woman entrepreneur, woman staff, and they were really experts. And they were, doing really well in the technology sector. So we took them on board. It was one of the acquisitions that we did, and we are expanding the scope outside Pakistan as well. So now it's a global company, Remire and HRways. Both of these companies, there is a different, a slight difference. So HRways is more about recruitment. And Remire, that is an employer of record service. So that actually is a combination that lets you hire people anywhere in the world. We call it remote hiring 2.0. It's a concept that if you're a company or a startup and you want to hire people anywhere, so you're not restricted to a country or a city, right? So you can just go to HRways and Remire, then okay, so I need this person with this skill set, and they will select the person irrespective of any geographical location. So let's say you find that person sitting in Germany, or maybe Philippines, or maybe Brazil, or India. So they will let you hire that person. They will process the payroll. They will manage their workspace. They will give them notebooks, even celebrate their birthdays, do the employee engagement activities, give them insurance, they give them car. I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
So you can practically run your company like anywhere in the world. So that's what they do, and of course that's one of the acquisitions. And then we acquired Bremmers as well. So they are into the digital marketing, and they are also. They also have a product which is kind of Shopify type platform, which actually gives you an ability to immediately start selling online. It's a one-stop shop. You have all the logistics integrated. You have all the payment platforms integrated, so you can get it up and running immediately if you want to sell something online.
Impressive.
So we are taking that global as well, and that's one of the acquisitions. So we did some acquisitions in Portugal as well, in UK as well. So all of those acquisitions actually that brings so from a bigger picture, from a strategic point of view, you need all of these big business functions to grow big, right? You need recruitment, you need social media, you need digital marketing, you need products. So we are making some acquisitions based on our strategic objectives.
It sounds like you're really harnessing the power of technology and the technology that's available to us today, and developing to really, I guess, maximize what is possible in today's world. Yeah. Well, it has been a fascinating discussion. Thank you so much for joining us, and look forward to speaking again soon.
Yeah, sure.
And thank you so much for watching. And it's been a really, really wonderful discussion here today. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you.